Hello my dear friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I am Joy, and today in this lecture we will discuss about India-Maldives relationship. First of all, let us see the current affair. Recently, the President of Maldives made a 3-day visit to India and various agreements were signed, discussions were made and also various commitments were reassured during this visit. So, let us see the status of India-Maldives relationship after the visit of President of Maldives to India. Now, if you look at the background, traditionally India and Maldives enjoy a strong and friendly relationship. And three important areas of which India and Maldives, both these countries have an interest is, one is democracy, second one is development, and third one peaceful coexistence. So on strengthening democracy, on developmental activities and also maintaining peaceful coexistence or security related issues, these three are of interest to both the countries, and during this visit both the countries reassured their commitment for democracy, development and also peaceful coexistence. So these three terms are very important because whenever India makes a relationship or a commitment with the neighboring countries of India, we will see this three terms everywhere. So these three are the most important areas where India has given a primary focus: democracy, development, peaceful coexistence. So this is very, very important. Now, coming to the points of engagement made by India and Maldives during the visit of President of Maldives, the first one is regarding the aligning policies. Maldives agreed or reaffirmed its India first policy. So Maldives agreed that they would be giving a preference to India under their India first policy, and Maldives committed to work together closely with India in democracy, development and peaceful coexistence. These three areas. Now, India announced a financial assistance package to Maldives, and this is under neighborhood first policy. India has adopted a neighborhood first policy. That means it gives preference to its neighbors. So Maldives, being a neighborhood country for India, it announced a financial assistance package of $1.4 billion to Maldives under the neighborhood first policy. And this financial assistance package will be in the form of budgetary support, currency swap agreement and concessional lines of credit. So budgetary support means India would be helping Maldives in order to meet their expenditure in the budget, or sometimes the developmental activities, sometimes the social sector initiatives of the country, etc. Currency swap agreement means both the countries have agreed that they will come up with further agreements on the currency swap. That means the trade between these two countries can be done in their own currencies. That is currency swap agreement. For more details of currency swap agreement, please refer to the video on currency swap agreement which is available in the StudyIQ channel. So you will get the details how does a currency swap agreement works. But now, for your understanding, if India and Maldives, they hold bilateral trade relationship, they can conduct the trade in their own currency without using an international currency like dollar. So that is currency swap agreement. And concessional lines of credit means India would be providing loan at concessional rates of interest. That means the interest rates will be very less. So this is under the neighborhood first policy of India. So this is the aligning policies made by India and Maldives during the visit. Now coming to the maritime cooperation. This is one important area India has given focus, and whenever India holds a discussion or a meeting with the countries in the Indian Ocean region, India focuses on maritime cooperation. So both the countries agreed to strengthen their cooperation in order to enhance the maritime security in the Indian Ocean region. And under the commitment made by both the countries, they agreed that there will be a coordinated effort in order to ensure or enhance the security in the Indian Ocean region, which is highly debated, discussed, and this will be done through coordinated patrolling, aerial surveillance, exchange of information and capacity building. Another point of engagement for both the countries was terrorism. So both the sides, India and Maldives, agreed that they will increase the cooperation between these two countries in combating terrorism in all its forms and also in all its manifestations. And they agreed that it is not only within the region but also elsewhere in the world. So both the countries, India and Maldives, would coordinate and cooperate with each other in order to combat terrorism in all its forms, not only in the region but also at the global level. Another important point of engagement was the P2P relationship. So here P2P relationship means people to people relationship. How the citizens of both the countries would engage with each other. The Indian citizens and the Maldives citizens. So India has a visa-free arrangement with Maldives, and India has this visa-free arrangement only with a few countries. So Maldives is one country with which India has a visa-free arrangement, and this visa-free arrangement is very, very important in facilitating P2P or people to people exchanges and travel between both the countries. So under the visa-free arrangement, it will facilitate or enhance the movement of people from one country to the other. So this is very important. Now next one is on climate change. Both the countries discussed and agreed on the importance of combating the impact of climate change. So under the discussion, they discussed about the importance of combating climate change at the global level and also especially the underdeveloping countries or the developing countries and also the small island developing states. How important is combating climate change for developing countries and also small island states, and what will be the impact? Such type of discussions were held, and they also agreed to work together towards strengthening global response to climate change. That means they have agreed that they will engage and cooperate with the global responses. For example, UNFCCC, Paris Agreement. So these are all global responses. And the recent one is the Katowice Rule Book. So both the countries agreed that they will cooperate with the global responses in order to combat the climate change, and they will take initiatives to combat climate change at the regional level for developing countries and also for small island states. Another point of engagement was regarding institutional reform. Both the countries held discussions on improving the role of developing countries in the multilateral institutions. We have many multilateral institutions like the IMF, World Bank, UN, etc. So both the countries discussed on how to improve the role of developing countries in the multilateral institutions. And also Maldives agreed that it will assure its support for India in its candidature in 2020-21 UNSC elections. India is trying to get a permanent seat in the United Nations Security Council. So Maldives has assured its support for India's candidature. So this is at the institutional level. Next area of engagement is trade. So India agreed that India will be expanding opportunities for Indian companies or Indian investors to invest in Maldives, and this will boost the trade ties between both the countries. And the areas of focus would be fisheries development, tourism, transportation, connectivity, health, education, IT, renewable energy and communication. So these will be the focus areas where India will expand its opportunities for Indian companies or Indian investors to invest in Maldives in order to boost the trade relationship between both the countries. So they are also focusing on improving the trade relationship between both the countries. Now, during the visit of President of Maldives, 4 agreements were signed between both these countries. So let us see what are these 4 agreements which were signed. The first one is visa liberation for Indian investors. We have already seen that India agreed to expand its opportunities for Indian companies or Indian investors to invest in Maldives. So in order to enhance the trade relations between both the countries, a visa liberation for Indian investors were signed. This was the first agreement. The second agreement was on cultural cooperation between these two countries, where exchange of culture and also facilitation of P2P or people to people relations would be improved. The third agreement signed was on IT and electronic cooperation. Information technology and electronic cooperation between both the countries would be improved. And the fourth one was on improving the ecosystem for agricultural business. So these were the 4 agreements signed, and these are the focus areas of both the economies on improving the bilateral relationship between both the countries. Now let us also understand what is the China factor here. Maldives has maintained a close relationship with China also. This is especially in terms of finance. So Maldives has a close relationship or financial relationship with China as well. And many major infrastructural projects in Maldives were built with Chinese assistance. And also Maldives has signed a free trade agreement with China. So this shows that they have a very good relationship with China as well. So China is a close ally to Maldives, and the Chinese loans to Maldives economy amounts for $1.3 billion, and this $1.3 billion is actually 1/4 of the GDP of Maldives. So China has a very significant role in the financial assistance of Maldives. China has adopted a policy to expand its control in the Indian Ocean region, and China is providing financial assistance to countries near the Indian Ocean region in order to expand its authority. Now, what more India can do is to invest in strengthening the democratic institutions in the neighborhood. Financial assistance can be provided by other countries like China as well. Technological assistance can be provided. But where India can make a difference is in strengthening the democratic institutions in the neighborhood. And this will provide India with better returns. You can find the PDF of this lecture on my Facebook page, and for any queries regarding your UPSC preparations, you can get in touch with me on my Facebook page, or you can email me at joyce.studyiq@gmail.com. Thank you.